I ain't bugging this shit. Hey, yo, what up? This joint right here sound like Batman just got poisoned or something by his old lady. Something like that, you know? Word up. You ready? Tell him.
All the fighting, the fussing, the back and forth discussion, I just wanna get it done. If it's a technicality, it's probably over salary, and I just wanna get it done.
We are here today
From the minute
to
of
give
commitment when you started acting different, yeah, this shit is
the
probably
utmost
done.
respect to an unbothered king.
Hold up, I ain't even done. Fly nigga, don't play around. I'm way up, space bound.
I just feel like this is energy we should all appreciate. Like the most unbothered nigga in history. I just feel like, you know, this should be appreciated. This should be adopted. This should just be something to just put into your repertoire of how, you know, you handle the bullshit. This nigga ain't had no issues. There was a lot of, let me cut this down so you know, try to take no money that I ain't got. But just, you know, a lot of adversity, a lot of just fucking nonsense thrown this young man's way, and took it in stride, you know, took it like a champ. Hi, how's everybody doing out there in the fucking world? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Whenever you listen to this, you know, it is me, it is I, Chad Awesome, one half of Just a Dope Ass Podcast, your favorite podcast's favorite fucking podcast. I guarantee it. You know, it's just me and her right now. DC is on the way. Yeah. However you guys are doing, I hope you're feeling well. Hope you're doing well. I feel good. I'm having a good day. It's not a hot day. Like, I don't even have the air on in here, which is that doesn't happen. Like, y'all have seen, if you like, I be in here like leaking from the face. So I'm pretty happy about that. Pretty fucking pleased. Everything's been going pretty well. I don't really have any like nonsense. I don't think I have any funny stories. I've been trying to you know, go vote or whatever. That's always the hot topic right now until I think we got to like, well, I guess whenever you hear this, this is the third is on like Tuesday. So maybe I got till then. Today is Halloween, and low-key, like, I don't know why, like, certain like parts of the day I've like forgot it was Halloween. Like, I've had conversations throughout the day. Happy birthday, Dad. Like, I remembered that it was my dad's birthday today, but something about it being Halloween here and there, like, I'll miss. And I've had conversations today about it being Halloween. And I don't know if it's that, like, I don't give a fuck about the holiday for real, or if it's, like, quarantine shit. Like, I've talked about it and clearly had, like, a number of discussions about, like, Halloween. But, like, something about it is not, like, hitting. I think that probably is, like, quarantine-ish. Like, all the, like, oh, shit. Like, I don't know if there's a lot of things going on. You know, I'm sure people are going to go celebrate. I don't even know how kids are gonna trick or treat. I saw these things that are like trunk or treats. That probably still sucks. Wow, yo, I wonder like if this doesn't like get back to like sort of regular, because you know you look at social media and everybody, not denying like anybody's mental health shit, but like anxiety's always been high. People already have like weird social interactions, so I feel like it'll be like a bunch of just extreme introvert shit going on potentially, like, because nobody knows how to interact. Like, they're kids growing up and have never had, like, you know, people make jokes now about y'all didn't go outside enough, y'all ain't had enough fights, y'all ain't, you know, never scraped your knee, like, and there are kids on like on Zoom going to fucking, you know, elementary school and shit or whatever, and that's where you get, you know, that's where you get your first scrapes. You know, you don't know what a crush is or whatever, like, but you know, you start to like have a freaking, I don't know, I had my first little fight. I was punching kids at like 6. I don't know if that's good or bad, if I'm telling on myself, but you know, they not having those interactions, like, for lack of a better word. Like, I don't know if, you know, this will make people soft, if it'll be like a whole generation of sociopaths. Yeah, I don't know, that just kind of dawned on me, like, you're like, just how weird and how many things they might be missing out on because they don't really have, like, you know, interaction with people or shit like that. That's a little creepy. that's a little fucked up. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if that's like maybe it's not a problem. Maybe they learn how to be self-sufficient. I don't know. Somebody somewhere in some fucking laboratory in, I don't know, Europe, like, I don't know, Switzerland, they're pretty progressive, right? They be caring about shit. They'll do some study on like how kids are like, children born between, 2016 and 2020, show great signs of self-sufficiency and blah, 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 blah. And, they'll be like, they'll never need social interaction. Yes, people. What if we turn into like Japan? I know I don't know if this is still a thing. I know there was like I'm bouncing all over the place. I know there was like an article I read like, it was years ago. There was an article I read and then like it popped up on like I think I talked about this shit before, on like Vice, where in Japan it was at one point, I guess, like their population was dipping just a tad because their interactions with like the opposite sex like wasn't a thing. So they just, they'd have all these weird, I guess, weird is subjective, but they'd have all these different or alternative means of kind of like interacting sexually, like anything but actually just going, hey, other human being, would you like to meet my genitals with yours? Because, that's how it gets down. That's how you work. You walk up to somebody, be like, yo, like my genitals like your genitals, and like, do your genitals like mine back? And then they're like, yeah. And then, fucking a baby shows up from some giant stork bird. That's what it was told to me. That's how it happens. But they don't do that in Japan, or weren't doing that at some point. So I'd be wondering like if this fucking quarantine shit, how that really changes, how these kids gonna be fucked up by it. I'm gonna be old and dead, so it don't really, really matter. But it's interesting. It's interesting to talk about. We supposed to have like some real like, oh shit, like triggering topic, and I'm trying to like pull back because I want to like repeat and hit y'all with like repeat shit, but we'll see. Because I just, as one man to the world to the other, I'll be wondering about shit. You be wondering things. You see things on the internet. You see a lot of like like relationship talk. That's always a big thing. Relationship shit. You can never go wrong with that. Like, we've been up here, we like talking about fucking anything. Talk about space. Clearly me, I'll bring a comic book topic up in a heartbeat. But this just seems to be a big topic. And it's, it's super important to, I would say, definitely from a black perspective. A lot of bliggity black shit around here. And our relationship dynamics seem to be, I don't know if it's an all-time low, but shit's weird out here. But also the internet is taking into account that the internet is not probably is the worst place to find out and like determine like what's what, who's who, and where to get people's thoughts from. But fuck it, it pops up a lot. And with the I feel like I've said this word 100 billion times in the past like couple weeks, the Birkenness, but that term, you can gotta find deeper, we're about deep thought and all that other shit around here. And those conversations turn into, that sparked conversations about, what a man's supposed to do. Basically it's like, pay for this and take care of that and provide this, and there just seems to be, and not taking away that those are good aspects to have in relationship, depending on what relationship you have. I feel like people say that term like flippantly too, like to sound like they like are on some, I guess, progressive shit or whatever, like that just is whatever works for you, as a way to go, man, fuck that shit, I would never do that. And never just thinking about like, well, why wouldn't you do that? Like, what exactly about the way things are supposed to be done traditionally is the right way to do them, so to speak? Like, what variables were put into place to make that a thing? Like, if you some of these standards come from our granny and them, and does that still work in today's society? Just like even from like just a little economic perspective, like your granny, my granny, well, not my granny was a G, my granny was a business owner, like dead ass. Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and let me talk my shit real quick, boom boom, like flat out 100% business owning, like independent woman, came together marriage. So for me personally, that definitely is a dynamic that that I'm used to, like even on my dad's side, like my mom and like his mom, my grandmother, like, you know, she was a working woman and my grandfather was working, like, you know, it was teamwork dynamics here. So sometimes, you know, just completely leaning into that the internet is and memes are the barometer to judge people. They're not. Don't take me seriously, like, on that. You know, because once again, the internet lets you believe that as soon as you say something, like, people just go, that's fucking trigger bullshit, blah, blah, blah. So, where the fuck was I going with that? Damn. Thought just went fucking nowhere. Hold, please. Oh, wait. I think I got it. Okay, I think I got it. With, you know, the way, like, you know, the world works now, like, it's not really I go to work and she stays home and blah blah blah. And I know I don't know if this is 100% fact because I haven't really done the research because I'm lazy and I like just spitting off the top. But I've seen a couple things where it was like financially, you know, and like say in schools, like black women are like, you know, graduating black man. Wow, what a fucking amazing shirt with the fucking. You were finna do some shit. We finna set it off today. I mean, like, cause I got a black shirt in the car. Sorry, y'all. I mean, we could, like, I just, cause you shit that. Did y'all see this shit you see on the other camera? This is, we finna do it. That was shit, man. Like, what the fuck was I talking to y'all about? I'm sorry, like.
Revolution.
Man, that nigga said finna do, boy, we finna do it. This is a black owned business with this shirt. Like, man.
Extra black today. While everybody's celebrating the pagan holiday, this is my costume.
Nigga said, goddamn,
fuck y'all, all that bullshit y'all talking.
So you actually had perfect timing because I was easing him into it.
Wonderful.
I was easing him into it. Like I don't know if I'm.
You trying to lube it up first?
No, I think I think I got the tip in.
Okay.
Like it's not.
They want it. Like,
yeah.
Okay,
you know,
okay.
it hasn't got.
We got consent.
Yeah.
We got consent.
Yes. It was a little tip. You know, and touch a little titties. You know, I'm doing the foreplay. It's really some foreplay shit.
Nothing
like,
wrong with a little foreplay. Yeah. Let's do it.
So where I was at was just kind of setting the scene that in a world where, say, we're like in general, maybe not our specific. I went through all that thing. Like not our specific grandparents or grandmothers, whatever. But in general. Granny didn't have access to the jobs that dad did. So the idea that his role was to be big bank Hank, you know what I'm saying? Like I come in, you know, like fucking like what's that shit? The Jetsons. I put my wallet in, she take the whole shit, like, you know, and just figure it out.
Right.
Because also that was also in a world where, you know, the rules of gender roles were more of a thing. Like, you know, apparently back then in the fucking 50s and shit, if a man, nigga, you know how to wash your drawers? Goddamn gay.
Right.
You know how to wash dishes? You goddamn demon. Like what? Like, okay.
Or like on Never Not Extra, if you put lotion on your ass.
Yeah, you lotion your booty? This nigga out here exfoliating and then moisturizing? Well, we got to beat this nigga. So, you know,
right.
With all those rules, with all those societal, I guess, pressures and just fucking stupid. Those are stupid. Those set the scene. You
know how stupid those were?
Yeah.
Because people still held on to those in, like, say, the 70s. And men wore blouses and really tight pants and shoes with big heels.
Listen here, folks.
And those were masculine, manly men.
Thank
and
you.
Yet we decided that we were still going to hold on to gender roles that didn't match the present.
Thank you to my uncles. Thank you to my father. Thank you to all the men in my life. Because I grew up looking and I got to have these conversations. Right the fuck now. Go and look up, I don't give a fuck, the Gap Band, the Isley Brothers. Look up a Switch album cover right the fuck now.
And all their light-skinned glory.
I call your name whenever. Look at that fucking cover. Like, so them niggas was like, y'all niggas are soft. Fucking Eddie Murphy was ass naked under a leather skin. You know what? Whatever. That I digress. But y'all,
yes,
stupid.
Yes.
It's kind of dumb. So, said all that to say, is that made more sense for you to be the quote unquote breadwinner, for that to be your main role? Because honestly, my nigga, if you're working from sun up to sundown, you're the only financial, like, you know, lifeline in this fucking home.
Right.
It makes sense that when I come home, I don't have any ability to raise my kids because I don't see these niggas. I'm working 27-hour shifts.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? But now in a realm where, say, for black men, I know, like, there was, I don't know if that's still the stat, but I know at one point there was a stat where it was like black women are graduating more, from college than us. They have better access to jobs. Not taking away that, everybody, more cents on the dollar, down with the patriarchy, all that shit. But, let's cover all the bases.
Down with the Eurocentric patriarchy, because that's what's defining the confines that you're putting yourself in. These so-called gender roles also that you're holding on to, they come from a Eurocentric mindset.
Did you hear what that nigga said, man? Look at this.
So in order to, if you want to completely repel the patriarchy and all the things that come with that, and you want to truly connect with the culture and be all that, then that means you have to get rid of the stupid-ass gender roles that white society has told us to adopt as well. But hey, just wanted to throw that out there. Proceed.
Moni in the gang.
Hey, Moni, what's going on?
So anyways, by those, standards, as of now, it would make sense. And I don't know, lazy nigga shit, but I can do 8 hours because we both doing 8 hours. So now we have a dual income. Right. I can pick such and such up from school. I know how to wash a fucking dish,
and my ass and my drawers, all
that. So with all these seems like just complete dossiers of, once again, back to, this is the last time I'm gonna say this word today, I promise. The Birkin baggers, the fucking
we'll say it again. I'll say it again.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to say it. Let me lie to y'all. And he needs to pay your bills. He needs to make sure that you don't fucking need for a thing, and he needs to do this, and he also needs to rub your back, and he also needs to blow your back out every time you fuck. He also needs to be a legitimate, great fucking male figure for your kid, and or male or female kid or whatever. All these fucking things, and not taking away that you have to. But then on the flip side, what does that mean? What is a woman's role? And I'm not saying, get in there, what is a woman's role? What are you supposed to do? What is, because I just don't hear that. And I'm not even trying to be facetious. I'm just curious as what does that mean? What is a woman's role? Because it seems like everybody's got an opinion on what a man's role is supposed to be. So what?
And everybody's opinion of what a man's role is supposed to be within a relationship is fully based in bullshit. It's based in the coddling of your insecurity. A man is supposed to do this. The underlying reason being because I don't want to have to do it myself. These are all things for me. This is the man's role in a relationship that's supposed to pertain to what I want. His job in the relationship is supposed to be what I want. At one point in time, do you put your ego inside and decide what is best for this relationship for both individuals? Now, I'm going to preface this a whole lot earlier because we got a whole hour to discuss this. So side note, spoiler, we're going to get straight to the end and then we can backtrack. But in a relationship, there's two motherfuckers in a traditional monogamous relationship. That's a whole other discussion that we're going to get into. But in a traditional monogamous relationship, there's two individuals. I don't care which individuals you are in today's society, however you want to identify yourself.
Neon toaster oven and the powder blue chair together.
It doesn't matter. You can be a glass of chocolate milk and a jar of mayonnaise. I don't care. Whatever you guys identify with, you are in a relationship together. So you decide what roles each person is supposed to have within a relationship based on what works for you. The gender roles bullshit does not work. Sorry. So if you're going to say a man's role is, okay, so then what is your role? You would have to define what your role is. If you're going to tell a man what his role is, that means you have to define what your role is. Or to be fair, I'm going to tell you what your role is as a man in a relationship. Okay, you tell me what my role is in the relationship as a woman, which a lot of people are not going to be wanting to hear. Or what is my role as a jar of mayonnaise or milk chocolate, whatever the fuck, whichever one you identify as. You have to allow that person to tell you what your role is. If you're going to tell them what their role is, I mean, that's fair, right? 50-50 in a relationship. That kind of makes sense.
Well, I've looked at it this way. Traditionally, the things that have been pushed back against as far as women's lib and even we talked about the workforce thing and that there's, they're still being fought for today.
Right.
Those things go in tandem with these traditional gender roles. You cannot have one without the other.
Right.
So if you have all these traditional roles for a man, that means you have to fall in line with traditional roles as a woman. And if you don't,
which we have progressed past, if I'm not mistaken, based on all the woman movements of today, which they're not new movements, they're just kind of resurfacing for whatever reason. Based on these movements and based on what you are saying you need or the dynamics that you need within a relationship, you have fully surpassed as a society past these old school gender roles. So why are you holding these old school gender roles for men? We want this, and this. Because we are women, hear us roar, and we are the new age women, and we deserve all of this. You are absolutely correct. But that also means you have to let go of this old mindset. You can't force somebody else to treat you in an old mindset that no longer works while you get treated in an updated manner. There has to be equality.
So Moni stated that, just said, not her opinion, just disclaiming for all you fucking, that's crazy bitch. She's a pick me ass. But
how dare you?
That a woman's role traditionally was cooking, looking good, keeping him sexually satisfied, taking care of the home. Now, that all sounds very don't objectify me. Like this is a fuck me maid. She cleaned my house, she sucked my dick, and then that is all. So one, that boils a woman down to an object, but that also boils a man down to I'm literally a dick, and so you don't really want.
I'm in caveman.
Yeah. So
basically, all I care about is fucking, or me want food and me want pussy.
I hate men, but you're requesting of a man to be his lowest self. Like
right.
If I were to ask for, hey man, like I had I'm depressed today. Why the fuck? No, like I don't want that. So you don't really want, which I've said before, you don't want a relationship. Like you just, no. I want to take these pictures.
Because providing and taking care of somebody's needs is not material. It's not financial. Taking care of somebody's needs, that's something that has to align with your spirit, with your soul, what you actually need as an individual, as a being. What do I need? If I need food, I'm feeding you because I love you and you need food. You need energy. So that's why I'm feeding you. Not because it's my role as a woman, but because I love you. I'm feeding you. That also doesn't mean I'm not giving you pussy because you're a man and all men have needs and men are just horny creatures and they need sex. No, I'm giving you this because I want to share this moment with you and I care about you and I want to, continue to indulge in this connection with you in a multitude of different ways. You feel it. I feel it. Let's do it. Let's feel it. Let's create. And also that's how we have children, which is another labor of love within this relationship that we are supposed to have. So even with that, starting with the labor of love and children and starting with all of these things that we should provide each other, we don't do that. Men don't do it. No. Women don't do it.
I think people don't even look at the terms like the labor of love. Like, not that it's not a tough thing, but I think people view why it's tough differently. Like, it's not just supposed to be this thing you're supposed to endure. The labor could be that love is the thing. If relationships are a mirror, love is the thing that throws your bullshit in your face to go, why do you even why do you believe this? I believe, okay, but why? Like, you do realize that that's making this relationship an issue. That might be your labor. That, through this relationship, I discover favorites. What do we do here, folks? We be shitting on these beliefs. You be just, what's that shit last week? Like
reconstructing, deconstructing.
Lean into it. Like the relationship, instead of just, I need to deal and sit with this person and we're together, the labor of your love is to go, oh shit, I was away. This relationship is now the conduit through which I get to my next little phase. But if you're not used to checking your shit, which is where I'm really headed with this, then every relationship is bad. All niggas ain't shit because you lack the ability to go, you know what? Darrell worked at the fucking he worked at the bus stop. He was a bus man. Carl was a motherfucking mechanic. Daryl, he's a tech nigga, and what's his name is an artist. All these niggas have nothing in common except me, but they're all a piece of shit.
So if all these men have come to feast at your table, when you eat, you produce shit. So you are the shit that has been produced at said table that you are presenting at.
He said you guys are
poo-poo. when you eat the poo-poo, you are the shit. You're the shit. You want to be the shit, right? You are the shit. So if they are pieces of shit, you guess what? You are shitty as well. But I will say there's no, in relation to relationships today, there is no real labor of love within the relationships because there's no labor. Nobody wants to put in work, which is your labor. Nobody wants to do that.
That's a whole nother thing, that you come into a relationship and think that you don't have to be a part of the thing that puts into this.
No, I don't want to do that. I want benefits. I don't want labor.
Come get me.
Right. I want fringe benefits without having to come to work and do the job. So there's no labor, which means there's no love. We're really just infatuated with what this situation is giving us. I care about the material, not the person.
I don't care how y'all feel. I'm going to quote this man, this godsend, till I die, probably. In the words of Patrice O'Neal,
Do it.
the man said, "Go watch Elephant in the Room, y'all. Go watch." He said, now he was doing a comparison between, you know, men and women, and he did this whole, you know, sex dynamic of women, like, you know, men hollering at women. How many men have, you know, tried to have sex with you? Countless. You can't count. But you don't have sex with them because they're not sexable to you. They haven't done something that makes you feel, you know, sexy.
Right.
Now, you've done for him enough. You look good or whatever, and sexy. He wants to fuck, boom. But you don't have to fuck him because he's not sexy. On the flip side, now why should I love you because I'm lovable? You're a great dude. You have this. Oh my God, DC, you're a therapist. You're tall. You love black stuff, and you wear glasses. You have such a soft, soothing voice.
Thank you.
And
appreciate
blah 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 blah. And this whole interaction, though, I really haven't really been doing shit but like checking off my checklist. We don't went on about 2-3 dates, and by the third date, I'm like, oh, this nigga's dope. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and lock this down. And then when DC go, well, wait a minute, man, you're just like the rest of these bullshit. What did you? Not even dissing. I'm not even saying you can't. I'm not open. But what did you? Let's list this. What did you really bring to this? Like,
What did you do?
yeah, like what did you know?
The only thing you've done is list off these great list of qualities that you find acceptable or valuable to you that you find in me. So that makes me the catch, right? That would make me the prize. And that's what makes you want to latch on to said prize. Like I don't enter the NFL to not win a Lambeau Trophy. Like, I want the Lambeau Trophy. I don't enter the NFL to win a Stanley Cup. That doesn't make sense. I'm in this race because this is the trophy that I want. This is what I want. I am said trophy. I am said prize. So why does that mean that you automatically deserve me simply because you decide that that's what you want? That doesn't make any sense. Just like I have this list of things that make you want to latch on to me. Did you ask me what my list of things are that would make me want to latch on to you? You did not. You only paid attention to your list, and now you have decided this is what I want and this is where we're going because this is what. Oh, you don't agree with that? Well, you're a piece of shit. No, that's not how this works.
Even with the list of needs, you could even boil it down to make it easier on yourself, so you're not trying to hit everybody's mark and being kind of phony. But if I have these list of needs that I feel like I need for myself, if I cannot provide these needs to another individual, I should probably shut the fuck up. I don't like how you don't listen. You don't listen. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're disrespectful. Like, you say things in a really
Right.
shitty way. You're emotionally abusive. You're physically, whatever the fuck, whatever it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't legitimately, you know, do those things yourself that you're asking for, like, really, once again, and that also comes with having the ability to be objective and be able to self-inventory. Like, am I really being accountable for my bullshit?
No.
We also have answers because I polled this. I just, you know,
Splendid.
it's, you know, it ain't a bunch because a lot of y'all, you know, I know you for real. Like, I'm just saying, no diss, but I know you for real, and I saw y'all see this, and I saw y'all whoop. You know, I be seeing a lot of y'all posts. I be seeing the memes and shit. But y'all, nigga, like, I thought I was finna get hit. Oh, nigga, let me tell you,
Nope.
not today.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
I ain't gonna call you out, but I'm looking at you. I saw you. I'm just letting you know I saw you.
See, you looking what you're looking as.
Yep. Hey, Kirsten.
Hi.
Look at the gang. Look at the support. You love to see it.
They came in together with popcorn and such.
So for a fact, folks, let's get it out there completely. We said, what is a woman's role in a relationship? So first off, we've got to be his backbone. Whatever he's lacking, financial or intangible, she makes up for it. That's a good answer. I like that. You know, you try to be there for, you know, if there's like, the puzzle piece theory, like with this person. Now, don't, you know, I'm just not promoting that if somebody is like a bum, you just like enable their bummy behavior.
Don't condone
but if
the
I'm
bullshit.
not, you know, I'm good in, like, you know, even like we talked about Kanye or whatever, like if he's a brilliant artist and this, that, and the third, but he just sucks at finance and you get a woman who's just great with numbers, that's good. That makes sense. I like that answer. I could do that.
Hold up. I want to dissect that though.
Lovely.
Because I like poking the bear. So even though that is a good answer, but what do you mean by be his backbone? Because in order to be somebody's backbone, you have to understand what type of back we have. There's like multiple bones in a spine.
I just need to put this out there that a woman with ovaries and boobs said this. Kirsten said most women are not accountable for their wrongdoings. I didn't say it. I ain't say it, but a woman said it, and I'm gonna post this clip because a woman said it, and
we love her. Thank you.
Wow, set fire to the. Okay, sorry.
But yes, within the spine you have multiple bones. So if you are going to be the entire spine, that means you have to understand which part am I, in this whole vertebrae that I'm supposed to be, which part of this vertebrae am I feeding into right now? And did I ask you what you're going to do with said vertebrae, or did I just decide I'm the backbone, I'm gonna fit right here?
That makes sense. You would have to apply.
This is what I decided we gonna do.
That's also,
and I'm gonna support you because that's I'm gonna support you, and this is what we doing.
Also, the labor of love too is understanding how this motherfucker's back work.
Asking questions and listening to their answers, not the perspective that you want to include into the situation.
This one sounds good. She should speak and act in a manner that represents him. I could deal with that. Like, if you guys come together, like if you. Like
I'm here to be the antagonist today.
Yeah, you can, because I think I like where that answer was supposed to go.
Okay, repeat it one more time.
Yeah, like she should speak and act in a manner that represents him.
Newsflash: as an adult, you should do that for yourself to begin with. People are looking at you when you go out in public. People are watching what you do. You should be a decent fucking human being just for the sake of being a decent fucking human being. You don't have to do that because you have a man and I have to make him look good. Make yourself look good, and maybe you won't have to worry about making him look good. He will choose you because you choose to look good on your own and do what's right.
Okay, these are all from one. So I did kind of lead in to let those sound separate, like they were separate answers. But these are all these two, 1, 2, and this third one is from the same person, but they all come together nicely. Pretty much all the same stuff men should do.
Okay,
laughing my ass off, like with y'all in the lead. So be a decent person, and be supportive, and with men at the head of this dynamic, which I guess to me sometimes that might be case by case, because even that statement where people go, man is the head but the woman is the neck, that would require that a woman the neck is still what is directs where this head goes. So that does still require that you have a bit of leadership. Like in traditional gender roles, that wouldn't make that statement doesn't make that dynamic doesn't make much sense, because if I'm the head, if what I say goes, like, oh nigga, if I'm going this way, like I might want to go like that.
Hey, no.
There has to be a unison in how this works, but I get where I feel like this is going. So boom,
I get that. Yeah. The one thing I don't like about that, and this may be me being,
a woman's role is to love herself first, be a partner, know how to communicate, not making assumptions, and other traditional things that work for that couple. Sex is very important as well.
You should do that anyway.
Yeah, at the end of the day, just be a good human being. She agreed with you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So
here's the bullshit.
The man is the head. The man is the head, and the woman is the neck, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. If we're talking about anatomy, who's the brain? Are we incorporating the brain in the head?
I assume that's
because if we are, that means the man has to do all the thinking. So if that means the man's doing all the thinking, because the brain controls what the body does. So that means even as the neck, you are being controlled by the brain. So that means the man is controlling even your role. He's controlling your role.
See, that's another aspect. I'm going to get to this question because I just want you to stretch out, because these are the good ones. This is
fair enough.
You can put on your good shoes.
Yeah.
But even the dynamic of, I lied, the Birkeners. In that particular role where somebody is paying this and doing that, I've always thought that dynamic makes somebody, you're a slave to this person. Like it's not that person is just he provides, he does this, he also owns the room,
right?
Because I can do but I know everybody likes to say like I could do for myself, but can you like there's a subtle. Sometimes I feel like it could definitely be sucker shit, but sometimes that is a subtle way of control. Like I got the bag, so you want this or whatever, and you end up taking shit, or you see that bullshit movies that we were just doing so much, and he would fly me to Milan, and he fucked your sister yesterday, like nigga wasn't even cheating away, like you know what I'm saying, like he could fly you to Milan, but he couldn't have gone to fuck a bitch in the next state, like he fucked your sister, like so. I think people need, just look at that as an aspect. I'm not even saying this is a concrete thing, but people be saying these things and don't even look at, nigga, this is like just 2 steps away from what you just said. It's cool. I don't mean that's happening, but that is something to take into account when y'all just flailing these things out like they're absolutes, because there are no absolutes. Now,
there are no absolutes.
So let's everybody get DC his good battle axe. Let's sharpen that shit up. So first one of the stuff that I know you finished. A woman's role is to cook, clean, provide, suck that dick on the regular. I appreciate you sucking that dick on the regular, but that's it. Those are so you just gotta cook and clean. So, really Pornhub. You have to be a fuckable maid.
Basically.
Yeah, good.
You are getting rid of the role of the whole sex doll situation. Like, you're just jumping in that role automatically.
No, women are smarter than men. On the whole, or just in certain situations, because that would get into a conversation that I don't even know if we have time for, but we could get into about how one even views and judges intelligence, because that would be like, you could say Einstein or fucking whoever's Elon Musk. Elon Musk is one of the smartest people on earth in technological shit, but you drop that nigga in some weird street in Baltimore, he doesn't know left from right on how to survive that. But there's some 8-year-old who could, you could drop in Kazakhstan, knows how to put guns together and shit. So that debates on what is considered intelligence.
Women are the experts of putting on makeup, but if I put you in some pads and a helmet and put you on a football field, you won't know what the fuck is going on. So are you smarter than men in that regard? I don't think so.
Kirsten is like shooting from like the fucking
from Steph Curry range.
Yeah, no woman should expect a man to do something that she can't do for herself. It's a lot. Like, she's just shooting today.
As she should. She loves us. We appreciate you. Thank you. Before I even get into it, shout out to Sam. Sam has been participating in.
Hi, Sam. Thanks, Sam.
Appreciate you. A woman's role in a relationship is whatever is discussed between those partners.
That's good.
The problem is folks are coming into situations generalizing their roles and their partners.
That's a really good bar.
Of course.
Yeah,
that's why we love Sam.
Fuck you, Sam, smart ass. We're trying to get the fire. Sam said, here's the water and the gas and all the chemicals and shit, and I made ice because I'm smart. Like, thanks.
I mean, that's what we get to. We just take the long approach to it because we have to be entertaining for an hour. But this conversation wouldn't last very long. Like, if me and Sam have this conversation, it lasts 5 minutes. If me and you have this conversation, it lasts 5 minutes. On the air, it has to last an hour because
47 topics, so we can run through the bitches. Oh, this is a good one. This is one that honestly you'd be like, I feel like you probably like, shit, even me. I'm not even close to done yet. But I'm like, oh yeah, I could definitely I'm gonna get some money out of this motherfucker. Like, do you want to here's my card. Like, do you want like an hour session or 2 hour session? And how many times a week do you want to meet? Because a woman's role is to just be herself. My presence is a present. Kiss my ass.
Okay, so if your presence is a present, so go be your own presence and open your own gift box with your own 2 hands. And I don't need to be here. I mean, I'm all for somebody understanding that self-worth. Like, I'm just like I said earlier.
From this angle, it makes sense. From the angle, I think it's I think this person is like, I know her.
I get it. So I'm trying to shoot them some bail while also shoot them at the same time. So I get it. Self-worth. Hey, you are supposed to have self-worth. You are supposed to understand that you are something special. You are supposed to think highly of yourself. That is completely great. Yes, you are a present and your presence is important, but also your presence is not mandatory. It's not necessary. I am not obligated to be in your presence. You are not obligated to be in mine. In a relationship, I don't have to have a relationship with you specifically. You don't have to be here.
I would go that your presence can be a present, but it's not automatically a present.
It's not.
Because you could be a fucking douche nozzle. I like that word.
I like that word as well. Yeah, but like, I don't have to like you. Like, my presence is your presence. You are right. Your presence within your life is far beyond anything that you can comprehend. Like, you are the center of your universe. But guess what? You are on Omicron 8 and I'm on Omicron 9. Like, we don't give a fuck what's going on over there, over here. If we decide to work together, great.
Not that every present is a good present, because if I shit in a box and wrap it up, that's a present.
There can be absolutely nothing. Or old school, I know Sam will appreciate this, but old school Justin Timberlake, it could be a dick in a box. If I bring that to the table, are you going to be happy that there's just dick that I presented? Probably not. So you coming to the box with a vagina in there saying that, hey, my presence is a present and you should just accept this. For why? I didn't order this.
This is my favorite one. What is a woman's role in a relationship? To be mentally stable so she doesn't kill you or any man. I feel like I want to hug you. And we could talk about it. Like, just bring it. I'm going to give you one of these V hugs. Just wrap it up right there. Come on. Rub the back.
I'm not going to hug you. I mean, I'll offer you therapy. I mean, if you need a life coach, hit me up.
There's a twofer.
Oh,
that,
okay.
and then that followed with literally everything becomes her job. The least y'all can do is sprinkle some funds. I would respond to that by one, I feel like, this is still like from the hip, just how, but that was really your fault for fucking a man child. Like, you knew whoever that stemmed from, you had full control. And oh wow, look at this amazing drooling person with a penis. I'm gonna go ahead and get with that and somehow expect that to be this great thing up here.
They have like people that are into baby fetishes. You can find those people. Like, if you just want somebody that your fetish is to take care of them, you can do that. You don't have to like go under the guise of being in a relationship with the person. If you just want to take care of somebody, just find somebody that likes to wear a man diaper.
Not to mention, like the little clip that we dropped earlier this week, and everybody's super spiritual now, and law of attraction is a thing.
No, you're not, because you still believe in religion.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Some of you
it came to mind. I had to. It's not on target with what we're talking about today,
kind
but
of.
Well, okay.
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of.
We can tie it in there.
Because
gender roles and believing in what society has told you and feeding into the norm and all that.
Because the favorite, once you back them into this corner, is, well, God
said.
Oh, all right. You sure that's what for sure? Like, are you like 1,000% sure? It wasn't that these white dudes wanted to pull up and like rob women of their like sexuality and independence, and especially black women, and say like, oh yeah, y'all were completely like subservient to dudes. Like, oh shit, like history books didn't exist that had entire matriarchal societies and shit. But whatever. Like, because Jesus says so. Maybe not. What? Depending on,
well, this book said that Jesus said it. But even shameless plug, shout out to Busta Rhymes. Cause the intro to his album.
She's a mouth breather. Kristen is my favorite.
We love you, Kristen. Kristen and Sam.
She said a nigga was a mouth breather.
We both love you so much for having brains.
Wow.
We appreciate you so much. And you just give so much. Thank you. But going back to on Busta's new album, in the intro, which I know that you've heard, even he gives you a history lesson on there, letting you know that 1,000 years before Christ was so-called brought up into this earth, there are beings on this world that took over shit and decided to make one universal everything because I fucking said so. And then 1,000 years later, we have the birth of Christ, perhaps, from books.
Let me fucking hit the fucking with the whoopee.
Hit it. Go ahead.
Listen, you sons of bitches. Until you do right by fucking rhymes. Listen here. Like, we're gonna get back to it, but like, I know I mentioned him last week and I didn't do his name, but Comics Explained. You don't listen. I don't give a fuck. When that nigga hits a good man, I tell you what man, listen, let me tell you. Like, that's what he does. Shout out to the Rob Corps. Rob will get on that motherfucker. Man, let me tell you. And when Busta he didn't even get to rapping yet. And then
growling on him.
First of all, a motherfucker in 2020 had an intro and actual, I don't know, man. It was nostalgic to me. I grew up with skits and shit on albums. It was a whole scene.
It was wonderful.
It was a theme to it. And then had the fucking just
call.
We don't deserve to have Bus and Rakim on the same fucking like on the same song, like, and not just ribbity bibbity bib. I know people get, and it wasn't just like words put together. Like, it was, I'm just saying, like, if you're any type of hip hop fan, like, please, just
go listen to it.
Anyways, yes,
just go listen to it. But I was saying all that to say there is a history lesson letting you know that said Bible that tells you how you should have your relationships that was created. So even the concept of the relationship that you think that you're supposed to have, that was created for a particular reason as well. And it predates the religion that you believe in.
Actually, this ties in perfectly because these roles were created by this group that their entire agenda was to rob you of your power.
Right.
So you to be like, I am, super queen of the universe, and then tie all of your basis and theories on how this shit's supposed to work back to this is fuck. It makes no sense. That doesn't make any logical
This
sense.
is also a society of people that had, say, princes before they became king go and find a wife, and said prince is like 20-something-year-old, and he's finding a beautiful woman of birthing age, which means she could be anywhere from 12 to 15. So I'm, as an adult, I'm choosing a child wife that's going to listen to what I'm saying, and that's how we're basing the relationship. Those are the gender roles. That's how the original gender roles came into play.
Yeah,
I'm marrying a child because she can bear children, and I'm going to be the head of the relationship, and you're just going to do whatever the fuck I say and bear these children. Why? Because I'm going to be king, and you're just going to be a queen or princess because I fucking said so.
Yeah, I love a good bit of duality. I love that two things can exist in the same space that might conflict because, you know, human shit. But you're getting really goofy when you are telling me God, Queen, Mother of the Earth, fucking word to old girl off fucking what's that shit off Lovecraft Country, like I lived 1,000 times and I just said a name and that was it. That was really a thing. Like that was some real powerful shit. You can't be that and then go, I don't want to have any real like responsibility or power, and my only job is to like fucking suck a dick when I feel like it. Like, you know, you can't just be that in theory. Like, you know, Peter Parker, nigga, I'm gonna do some comic book shit, nigga. Great power, great responsibility. They go hand in hand. Like, you can, you know, be king of Zamunda, but you have to be responsible for your subjects. Like,
right.
Both things have to apply. You can't.
There's a level of responsibility. So in order to request certain things in a relationship, you have to also, I don't want to say build yourself up in a grandiose way, but I have to be at this magnitude to handle this level of responsibility. And I'm only requesting this from you because I want us both to be able to handle this level of responsibility. I'm not going to say you need to handle this, and all I have to do is help you be full and your balls empty, and then that's it. You go handle and shoulder the weight of the world while I just shoulder the weight of your belly on my forehead when I'm making you bust one.
I got it, or a question or a statement. I just got a thought that I just had, and I've said this statement a lot to y'all, and now I'm just gonna say it again and maybe expound a bit. Now, also, this was brought to my attention because I just thought about. Did you seen like internet blow up about Tabria dropping like the thick Beyonce fucking? It was nice, like it you know, word, like, but it just looked really good. Like, thank you Bria Majors for, you know, like there was like thick Beyonce-ness today, and it was. Anyways,
you quaffed that in,
man. What? Are you gonna use that machine? Stop, nigga. Like, I'm gonna use it
just
after I watch this video.
I'm taking my pre-workout.
Do you want to get in on it? Because we all need this. So, anyways, everybody's favorite queen mother of planet Earth and the next two planets over, Beyonce, you know, her relationship is super private, except when she had a fucking album about Jay-Z getting, you know, having their little infidelity thing, and everybody ran with it, not taking into account that was long gone and they were a completely happy couple, whatever.
And video coverage of fights in elevators.
All that shit, and it was just like, you know, decades gone, great happy family, 3 kids, lovely, like really, really the fucking blueprint, depending who you talk to. Haha, Jay-Z bar. But if we're gonna talk about that being like your goal and your, you know, inspiration for how you go about life and relationship, do you fucking think that she sits up there and goes, I want to wait hand and foot on, like, this woman is not a whole entire moving conglomerate fucking thing, and her and this other walking fucking business music giant it's a fucking merger. Like, you think he goes, get in there and make my goddamn eggs, Beyonce? Like, she might make eggs when she feels like making eggs, but Beyonce might even know how to fucking cook because she's goddamn Beyonce, and not just because she's fucking just rich, but because
she's from Texas, so she knows how to cook.
Yeah, she does. Whatever. Shout out to Houston. But you know, her contributions and tying in what Kanye said, using a different currency as a mode of how you go about your life in general, but definitely even in relationships. Like, people don't, like, our whole dynamic, even with this, once again, Birkenbagger shit, like, the entire currency of how relationships go is still predicated on just literally money, and motherfuckers be like, I want love. But have you ever sat back and really understood what the fuck that even means? Like, everybody, like, you know, you're basing your relationships and how these shits work, and you really are setting yourself up to be I don't know, insert pretty broad who's married to really super famous, successful dude,
For
and
sure,
really
period of
has,
time.
and then in 6 months will be like, hey, niggas ain't shit, and not even notice like you don't really have value, not just monetary, like you don't have a fucking purpose. Like your purpose is being pretty. Father Time will get rid of that. Just like Father Time will get rid of a nigga's ability to jump real high. Like be more.
Right. Because y'all was talking about like Cardi's relationship was goals for a little while, and she's been almost divorced, what, 3 times since then?
She can't cook. She admitted it, but go ahead. She don't have to, but okay.
I mean, you know, but you look at these people and say, oh, because these rich people are together and they live in luxury, that's relationship goals. And then short periods of time later, you realize they're not even happy. Or even as Cardi has admitted within her relationship, to stick with that example, I'm fucking bipolar in my relationship. 1 minute I love you, 1 minute I don't. 1 minute I want to be here, 1 minute I don't want to be here. That means you really don't love this individual, because love is it's a labor. So even going back to the Jay-Z Beyonce comparison, we have all this money, and sticking with the analogies of hooks and jabs that we threw prior to, you know, getting into that conversation with them, they still had turmoil with all that money. They still had an imperfect situation. We are both at the same height, at the same level as far as business savvy. We are at the same pinnacle of representation within our field of music. We are both high, top tier level people and earners. Great. Now we're entering into a relationship. Oh shit, we're having some issues. You've done some shit that we don't like within this relationship. I've done some shit that you don't like within this relationship, and we have to work through it in order to get to where now we are. The Carters are relationship goals. Let's rewind back, because getting to this point, they went through some shit, and she stuck with him. When he was imperfect, she stayed there and let's work through this. You pissing me off. You're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing. We are supposed to be married, sir. And I'm not going to say you're a piece of shit, but you're doing shitty stuff and we need to work on this together. And that's what we did. And vice versa. And that's how we are where we are now.
Once again, using a currency that is not money, their goals really is not any. Well, let me just take a step back. One, from the money perspective, and why Beyonce is really great for, like, you know, you don't have to really fucking teach me how to cook, because Beyonce could really walk me through how to start up a Fortune 500 company. So, you know what? Fuck these fucking eggs, bitch, because we could buy 6 restaurants. We'll go eat it. So
we don't do any of that. Or your mom knows how to cook. She can come stay here and watch the kids, and she can cook.
In our fucking
and they'll be happy to
on our fucking estate. Whatever. Anyways,
a state, not estate. A state.
As far as currencies for a relationship, and not just being that one-dimensional shit of accepting somebody for being a piece of shit and just running with it, being run over. And also on the niggas end of just saying, you know, I didn't, you know, you just gonna ride with a nigga. Don't just ride with a nigga just because. But if you look at, I feel like, I know Hov did a couple interviews in his little minute interview status, because he's too big for that fucking shit, is he literally explained, like, I'm a fucking ex-drug dealer, nigga, who turned rapper. Like, love for real, like working through these emotions is not something I knew how to do.
Right.
So to give them credit for their actual currencies that really should matter and more in a relationship other than just finances, is he did the work of, like, not that, and I know people always turn it into that fucking go-to gimme answer of, like, we're not supposed to be nobody's mama. You're not. But in being in a relationship, it requires you to be an understanding person. And on Beyonce's half, it was like, okay, I understand that I chose to engage with somebody who was not emotionally mature in these areas. So part of this relationship, you know, relationships are a mirror, and the labor of this love of supposed to have me test my morals and values and shit is that I need to work with him through this, because she probably learned a whole bunch of shit, even if it's just of going through adversity, understanding, like, how, you know, shit, I would never let a motherfucker cheat on me. And then you'd be like, well, he might have cheated for A, B, and C, whatever shit he was going through.
You can't letting somebody does it because but whatever.
And then on his end, understanding that this might have been a real big ego play, and I didn't even understand how my ego worked or how much that shit was a part of my, like, it wasn't that I loved you less. I was scared to love, like, whatever the reason was, is those interactions and working through that whatever shit. Nobody telling you to get walked over a dog. Just understanding and opening your mind to relationships work on a different level than this motherfucker can buy this and this and she sucks my dick and fucking cooks me. Because honestly, my nigga, I make enough money, you know, to go get whatever food I want and to drop a little $60 get my dick sucked. That's actually a way less stressful situation.
It is, depending on what you agree to within a relationship. But that's what he's describing, people. That's one of the roles that women should have which is called, like you guys said, it's being the backbone. That's what a backbone does.
Boom.
I'm not leaving this whole vertebrae simply because I'm not happy with how the spine is being utilized.
We can do this in 5 minutes, because another thing, which really is just the GOAT, like, I'll even take, to meet people where you at, and I'm actually deep in this particular thing that we're about to
dive
do, as far as like what module I'm in. So what's a good word? We're gonna frame this.
Frame it. Positively frame it.
Yeah, I'm gonna nudge you, whatever the fuck. Like, anyways, is I saw this word that they put in the book. They call us they call us choice architects.
That's nice.
Yeah, because we don't make your choices for you, but I do kind of, like the angel or demon on your shoulder.
I'm guiding you.
Yeah, I just now nudge you. Now you make your own choice, but don't do that. Anyways,
right.
Taking these actual traditional whatever fucking goals and roles and oles and flows and
freaks, holes, and flows.
Exactly. Understanding what those words mean instead of just throwing them out there. Like, you're a provider. Well, what exactly does that mean to you? Because providing is deeper than finances. I provide security. I provide a safe space for you to like feel whatever. I provide a safe space for you to come here and take that fucking wig off because you got to go be Susie Chapstick at work. But here with me, you get to be free. I'm providing you safety. I'm providing you security. I'm providing you whatever. As a nurturer, what the fuck does that mean? Because I need nurturing way outside of my dick, and that requires on both ends. When nigga, I need somebody to nurture me. Okay, man. Well, what does that mean? And also, that doesn't negate that I am a man with nurturing capabilities. I've experienced some of my most nurturing interactions from the men in my life. My father is nurturing. He has his nurturing moments. My uncle, if you talk to anybody else in the world, might have been the most gruff. I will pull out a motherfucking sword and slay the fucking demon type nigga. Like, I spit motor oil and I can take off this goddamn cap in the car with my bare fucking fingers. Like that nigga. But to me, it was calm conversations. I have gone through a lot of hardship, but to you, my young nephew, I'm going to give you the nurturing that I might have wanted and needed in my life. And I understand I understand how that feels. I know exactly what I wanted, so I'm gonna provide that with you. So this idea that as a man, you do not know how to nurture. As a woman, you don't have to go to work, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Like, I know how to cook eggs and all this other shit. Like, what, recontextualizing and reevaluating, like, and not just saying, well, that works for you. Like, well, why exactly is this a value system for you? Is that even valid? Does that even make sense? That's how my daddy did it. That's how my grandma. Your grandma was miserable. Your grandma just sat with this old ass nigga and was like, well, this is cool. And he was miserable too. Like, okay. Fucking Lovecraft country shit as well. The character Montrose is gay. The season's over. I don't care about fucking spoiler alerts. Gay as the fuck. His son's the main character, but he discusses that, they go back about him just getting beat the fuck when he was young because he was gay. He was gay in the fucking 20s or whatever.
Right,
like,
which is a no-no.
I'll beat you to death, like, because you're gay. So, like, he went through that and was like, I loved your mom out of, like, we both wanted a family. But that was probably a level of misery. He wasn't able to live his life until he was fucking,
right.
50.
And she probably knew it, and we're creating a family, not because you love me in that sense, but because we are a safe space for one another.
So they touched on that like she knew too. But I'm saying all that to say is these goals that you built on, you don't know the dynamics of those relationships.
You don't no context.
Yeah, this is not really goals. Like, this is just they just was up under the roof together or whatever.
Right. And that's part of the issue. Like, you have to fully know. Even I'll use this example as we're closing. That's just how my daddy did it. That's how my granddad. That's great. But if you are somebody that has a child, when you have a son, are you going to raise your son to approach women that way? No, you're going to raise your son to be an individual. You're going to raise your son to cook and clean and do all these things for himself. Why? Because you want him to be a sufficient man, somebody that is going to bring something to the table, somebody that's going to be a decent human being. That is your job as an adult raising a child, is to raise a decent human being. So you're going to instill in them certain values to be able to take care of themselves so they do not die when you separate from them. When you leave my nest, I do not want you to fall out of the nest, hit the ground, and cease to exist. I want you to fly, which means I have to teach you how to do so. That has nothing to do with the gender role. I just want you to survive because I love you.
Look him in the eye, all right?
That's
and
what
don't
you're
be scared
supposed
to
to
look
do.
her in the eye and just give her some chakra. Because this is from a woman. Look at that woman in the eye and just say, you know, that's your role. What? Yeah, I'm wondering what. You be asking me all the time, you know, what can you put?
We both have to ask this question to one another. When the chips are down, when the turmoil strikes, what are you going to do for me? Not when this shit feels good. When it gets bad, what are you going to do for me? Because that's what we should be doing in a relationship, supporting one another. So as we part here from Just a Dope Ass Podcast on this wonderful Saturday, we shall see you guys this upcoming Thursday, and the next week it'll be November. No more October. No Nut November, everybody. Everybody get ready. We can discuss that next week too. When it comes to No Nut November, we don't co-sign with that. So we ain't doing no shave. We're not doing none of that.
Bye.
We can see y'all later. We love you. We love